Bhagavato Samma Sambuddhassa. Venerable Bhikshu Sangha and fellow delegates, the topic that I've chosen for deliberation today is compassion, a motivational force for university teaching. Compassion or empathy, Sanskrit and Pali, Karuna, is one of the four pillars of immeasurable Appamaya Brahma Viharas, others being Metta or Maitri, loving kindness, or friendliness, Mudita, that is selfless joy in others' prosperity, and Upekha or Upeksha, equanimity. These Brahma Viharas are considered immeasurable in the sense that there is no limitation or ending of their practice and outcome. They are sublime state of living as their significance and benefits are not easily and truly comprehensive. In day-to-day life, we think and behave with others with a natural desire of reciprocation, even in a sweeter and more positive way. When we get the desired result, we feel delighted, satisfied, and composed. But what happens when adverse results are to be faced or experienced? The Buddha has highlighted in the Four Noble Truths the origin of suffering owing to various regions and in various shades. The more desires or expectations we have, the more adverse situation we have to face, leading to dissatisfaction and suffering. This is the reason the Buddha talks of reducing desires and expectations. Now, here arises a question: what will be the use or benefit of a reduction in the equanimity of desires and expectations? A visible and easily experienceable answer comes as a reduction of mental tension and arising of satisfaction, mental easiness, relaxation, and lightness. Further, another question arises: so what? Is it going to help in arising of happiness and enthusiasm for performing good action which could keep him cool and make others happy? The Buddha has pondered over this issue very deeply and seriously, and the entire Buddhist philosophy goes around it. When we look at the attainment of enlightenment by Siddhartha Gautam under the Bodhi tree at Bodh Gaya, it is of course his freedom and emancipation from all sorts of bondages, mundane as well as supramundane. But when more, but even more that he owes the world the suffering humanity, he agrees to the request made by Sahampati Brahma and sets out to Rishi Padal Mridaya, Warden Sarnath, to share his words of wisdom and ambrosia with his 5 companions who had meditated with him in the forest of Urvela but had deserted him later. There is an element of goodwill and compassion in him for his erstwhile companions, who ultimately became his most trusted and favorite disciples, followed by 55 others, and acted as messengers of the Buddha for the well-being of the entire humanity. When the Buddha dispatched the 5 batches of his Arhant disciples to different directions, his sole objective was to think, speak, and do good to his audience and humanity as large. Charatha Bhikkhavi Charikang Bahujan Hitaya Bahujan Sukhaya Lokanukampaya Athaya Hitaya Sukhaya Devanusanang Ma Ekena Dve Agmitha Desitha Bhikkhavi Dhammang Adi Kalyanang Madhya Kalyanang Pariyosana Kalyanang. The Buddha was fully aware of the pain and sorrow of humanity, and this is the reason, with a kind heart and compassionate outlook, directed his wise disciples to do maximum good to maximum people. Compassion or empathy is indeed an attitude or feeling which arises in the heart of a sensitive person on seeing someone in trouble. As put by Acharya Buddha Ghosh, heart of a kind, sensitive, and awakened person starts shaking on seeing someone in pain and he starts sincere efforts to reduce the same. This is indeed compassion, karuna. The very life of the Buddha is a clear example of active compassion. Besides the dispatch of the band of his 60 disciples to spread his message of well-being of all, he set certain norms of self-discipline among the monks and nuns to lead pious life with in altruistic attitude and to maintain harmony in the Sangha, caring for the basic need of one another. While training a novice monk or Shamanira, the respective teachers, that is Upadhyaya and Acharya, must develop the sense of empathy towards their pupils, just as a father has love and compassion towards his offsprings. Similarly, pupils are also expected to care for their teachers just like a son takes care of his parents. Even among the fellow recluses, a sense of selfless service, goodwill, and compassion must be exhibited at all times. If a fellow recluse falls sick, others must take full care of them. If someone is in need of food, robe, etc., others must extend their proper help. Recluses in the monastery are not supposed to lead an isolated life, but to act as a true guide to common devotees in religious and spiritual matters, social disputes, and even political and administrative matters if the administrators or leaders consult with them and on such issues and seek for their guidance. While going on begging rounds, that is charika, a recluse is supposed to listen to the problems of householders and to make useful and pragmatic suggestions with a friendly and compassionate mind. Even the common society, goodwill and compassion is a must for smooth sailing of social institutions. Difference of opinions, competitiveness, and sometimes quarrels too are common phenomena in the society or among the bigger groups and organizations and even among nations. There are big losses in terms of human life, economic setback, social and political distrust and disruptions. But sometimes, sooner or later, a good sense prevails upon, and some sensible individuals or even political powers come forward and make efforts to find out some formula leading to peace and normalcy. Coming to the academic arena, whether it is school level or college or even university, the Buddha's words Bahujan Hitaya, Bahujan Sukhaya should always be retained in the psyche of teachers towards their students. Even if seen with commoners' eyes, a teacher should be loyal to the institution, whether he or she works, sensitive to his pupils and committed to his assignments of delivering lessons. A teacher, first of all, must be quite clear about his subjects, whether he deals with science and commerce subjects or even subjects of art, social sciences, and humanities. How his subject can be made more and more interesting, should useful and beneficial for his students, must never be forgotten by a teacher. If a teacher is fully clear with his lessons or subjects, he will be more confident in delivering his message to his students. Further, if he teaches with a kind and helpful attitude, he earns a lot of respect and popularity among his students. Such a teacher succeeds in sowing and inculcating good human values among them. Ironically, in the present time, popularly called the age of science, technology, computer, internet, etc., has rapidly converted human beings into self centered machines, uncompromising, intolerant, and grossly drowned in their own selfish materialistic aims. Buddhism, with its outlook of friendliness and compassion, and of course, altruistic attitude, comes as a fresh breeze to cool the tense and selfish minds. It provides a pragmatic base for compassionate thinking for others. Though it is not an easy task to stop the negative impact of self centric modern mind, yet it is not impossible also altogether to germinate the seed of empathy in the minds of students. Usually, university students are grown up and sometimes stubborn also in their attitude and behavior, and thereby difficult to be dealt with. In such a situation, it depends upon the skillfulness of a teacher and, of course, the university administration. There is an age old saying that what one expects from others must do the same first. Therefore, a good and popular and a successful teacher will be one who is in himself an honest person to guide, to help his students through his clear perception of the subject and convincing way of delivering the same. He can even transform the most stubborn students and motivate them towards study. Besides classroom general lectures, beside classroom general lectures, the university administration, general and faculty members in particular, may decide their students in smaller tutorial groups that provides a better scope of interaction, understanding the mindset of the students, and teaching them better through proper discussions and deliberations. Thus, this opens a scope for reforming non-serious students as well as developing sensitivity among right-thinking students. Further, the students must be taken to countryside time to time for activities through interactions with the common people to get acquainted with their feelings, problems, customs, and such other issues. Sensitization towards the common society is indeed a very significant constituent of education. Social work through helping destitute, old, poor, helpless, and handicapped children, upkeeping of social forestry, cleanliness all around may be undertaken on regular intervals. Employment is a very vital issue connected with education, and university students feel deeply concerned with it. Keeping in view this factor, university authorities should plan and establish counseling cells for further guidance to the students for stable employment or placement according to their aptitude and ability. Besides, vocational education should also be made a part of curriculars. Objectives behind all these elements should be identified and explained to the students with an empathetic consideration for their worry free future. As a part of counseling, proper coaching should also be arranged for needy and desirous students. Young and grown up students at the institutions of higher learning must be taught and trained for becoming sensitive, and responsible members of the society, and mature as well as responsible citizens of the nation on the whole. To develop the feeling of patriotism for the nation and altruism for the family members, fellow workers at the office, workshop, factory, residents in the society is the essence of manifestation of compassion. Last but not the least, the concept of humanistic Buddhism floated by Venerable Grand Master Xingyin and Fo Guangsheng are very much in conformity with the notion of compassion propounded by the Buddha, which is applicable even to the university education system. It is indeed a motivational force for inculcating humanity or humanism among students and making them sensitive to the social needs. Thank you.